what brings you in today?
Yeah, so I was on the phone with my mom the other day, and I've been in school for the last a little over a month now, and I don't really want to talk to her about school because I haven't felt very supported from my parents. Like, they value education, but they don't necessarily value what I'm studying. And so, anyway, she asked me about, what are you studying? What are you learning? And I did a really poor job of just kind of backing off the question. I don't really know what to say.
So you're feeling neglected by your parents because you don't support what you're doing?
I do feel, well, I'm glad they're interested, but I guess I feel, like misunderstood. Yeah, because I want to study, communication, and that's something that they feel like that you don't need to go to school for, that they feel like they're great communicators, and they don't really have training in it, but it's something that they have prided themselves in, and so I feel like they undervalue what I'm hugely investing my time and money into.
So you feel unappreciated because your parents don't acknowledge that you're wanting to get an education in communication.
Yeah. I mean, it's worthwhile of my time and money to invest in myself and in my future, and I mean, it's funny because they do value education, but again, it's almost like I'm using it incorrectly, and so I feel very judged when I'm talking to them. And then my concern is, like, when she says, like, oh, what are you learning? I feel like she's really just asking so that she can form a judgmental opinion about it, not that she actually is interested.
So tell me a little bit more about what your parents do.
My dad's a professor, and my mom is the town gossip. She fills her life with distractions, and so she is educated, but she has her associate, so I mean, they value education highly, but so I mean, I think they're proud to say, like, oh, our daughter's in school, but I think they're skeptical to, like, tell people, like, why. I don't know why. That maybe it implies, like, we didn't teach her good communication skills, so now she's in school for communication or something.
Yes. Tell me a little bit more about your relationship with your parents and your parents together and your relationship.
So my parents have been married 40 years, and my mom is very emotional and manipulative, and she kind of runs the show. My dad is kind and gentle and happy to let her do so, and so he's very adaptable, because when he doesn't abide by what she wants, she's not worth being around, frankly. She makes life very difficult for others. So it's kind of her way or the highway, and so he's willing to give her whatever she wants. And I have to keep things very shallow with her, or they're things become quite volatile very quickly.
So do you think that your mom has a great influence on your dad's attitude towards your career option?
That's a good question. Yeah, somewhat. It's funny because I think if it was just me and my dad one-on-one, like, I would be happy to tell him about it and actually engage in a conversation with him about what I'm learning, what does he think, and he seems pretty open-minded about, even if he doesn't agree with something, that he can kind of step back and appreciate that. But my mom has this tone of just like, oh, interesting, like, I'm totally judging you, and it just is really grating. And so I don't know whether to just like give her a little bit of information to appease her and let her have her own opinion, or to actually say like, you know what, I'm not comfortable talking to you about school because I feel judged.
Let me ask you this: have you ever mentioned to your mom that the way that she comes off to you?
I think in the past I have said, I mean, I'm pretty open and honest with her, but it has little to no effect on her if I say, you know, change, or this is how you're making me feel. Then it's always like, oh, I'm being too sensitive, or oh, I forget I need to walk on eggshells around you, like that kind of thing. And so it's just, it's completely invalidated.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about one of the times that you did tell your mom how you felt about her reaction to you speaking to her about your problems or whatever concerns you have.
Okay. Yeah, I can remember telling her, like, you know what, Mom, when you say interesting or use that, you know, tone, it just feels insincere to me. And it was just kind of backlashed by like, oh, well, nothing I ever say is right. And so I don't really know what to do with that, because then I am left with then not being able to say anything. And so that's why I'm now rarely upfront and honest with her, because I feel like all I can do is either keep it shallow or just shut down.